Hey guys, kinggath here with some mod news. Now normally I'd be saying with another patch for Sim Settlements because this is a patch day as well. It's a rare patch day / news day. I don't think this has happened much for some reason. Patches never happened on the 28th. But anyway, there's just not enough to talk about to call this a proper patch. In fact, I didn't even name this patch. It just got a little letter because it wasn't worthy of a full patch. And that's going to be the case for a while yet, but we'll talk about that in a minute. First off, we got a lot to cover here mod news-wise. So we've always got to open up our mod news videos by congratulating our latest winner, and that is Harkness with this build of Covenant, which I could not believe this was Covenant. I thought for certain I downloaded the wrong save until I got in and saw that blue sign off to the right there. This is Covenant, which is crazy to me. And this design and the other Covenant designs, as well as some Dalton Farm designs, are available in the latest build of the Season 2 City Plan Contest Entries mod, which has just been updated today. You guys can grab that now to get access to these. And Xbox players, as always, to protect you from the script data limit issue, separate mod, links available in the description. You can favorite that and then download it right on your Xbox easily. Now, speaking of that script data limit, some of you guys might not be aware yet, but that has been destroyed. Baka Scrap Heap. Go grab it. This is a really cool mod. It gets rid of the script data limit for all intents and purposes. It's technically still there. It's just so much larger that you aren't going to hit it anytime soon. And even if you've downloaded every single city plan in existence, we've had people on the team who've already tested that and confirmed that. So go nuts with your city plans, and thanks to Baka Scrap Heap. Now, if you're not using Baka Scrap Heap, like if you can't, for example, if you're an Xbox player, or for some reason you just choose not to use F4SE, then your option is to go grab the smaller mod files. That's why we continue to do that. You can either grab the individual months, or on PC, you can actually grab every single city plan as available in its own ESL format, so that you guys have options so that you can get past that Vault-Tec spinning logo of death where you can't get it into the game. That is what that bug is. If you run into that, it means you have too many mods with too many scripts, and the game doesn't handle it. Unless you're fortunate enough to be playing with F4SE, then Baka Scrap Heap is here to save the day. All right, so next thing I would normally go into is talking about the next city plan contest, or in the case, because this is also patch notes, talking about patch notes. But since everything's all crazy because of just everything coming together at once, we've got this thing going on, we've got 2020 being a madhouse, we've got the next expansion coming up soon. Everything's in shambles, so we got to do things a little differently today. So the first thing, or the next thing I want to do rather, is thank the patrons. Normally I do this before our big patch videos, but we're not going to have one of those for a little bit. So mad shout out to Orc9000, Aaron Rudd, Thomas Wolf, Stephen Eric Davis, Monique, Katrina Dawn, Jeffrey Ward, Robert Allen, Will Barrington, and Marco Pogo. Thank you guys for contributing to the project. Very, very much appreciate it. Especially during this chaos that is 2020. I mean, have you guys seen what's going on in Louisiana? It's just nuts. Everything, it just feels like the world's ending all around us. But you guys continue to dig into your pockets and help out the project. And it's very, very noticeable right now as we wrap up another expansion. We find ways to keep things moving with extra cash flow. So thank you very much, guys. And again, to those of you guys who contribute in other ways, whether it be Steam donations or PayPal donations or whatever, those are all very well appreciated as well. I try to respond to each of you guys in email, so if I haven't, I apologize. Watch for those. I'll try and get caught up on those if I'm behind. But thank you everybody who's been contributing to the project. It really, really means a lot. Helps us to keep our personal bank accounts out of the equation so we can just focus our efforts on this, and you guys pick up the tab and really appreciate it. And I hope we're delivering quality content that you guys continue to enjoy. And speaking of that, let's talk about the patch situation, the next expansion, etc. So the next expansion we haven't announced yet, haven't talked about a date. I haven't even really talked about any of the details of it. Those of you guys who are Patreon 10 plus subscribers, you guys have gotten some sneak peeks. But otherwise, nobody knows anything about what's coming. And we're going to keep it that way for a little while. You will see trailers from us over the next coming months as we get things wrapped tight enough to where we feel confident releasing some information. But otherwise, it's going to keep under wraps. And that also is going to be occupying all my time. So if you guys didn't watch the latest video where I talked about this, normally right before an expansion comes out, I take a couple of extra weeks between patches. And then I polish out as many of the bugs as I can and get the thing wrapped up for release so that there's a minimum time gap between the latest patch and the next expansion. But this thing is such a monster. It's so much bigger than anything else we've done on the team that it's actually going to require several months of my time rather than several weeks before we can get it out there. We also don't want to repeat the mistake we've done for the last couple of expansions, which is we missed some pretty severe bugs and had to hotfix on day one, and I hate doing that. I think we all are sick of the AAA industry doing that, so I'm going to do my best to not be part of that problem. So we're going to take some extra time between this expansion and our last big patch with content. So expect minimal patches from me until further notice, and those patches will just be like today's, which are lots of bug fixes. And if you want your bugs fixed, definitely go to simsettlements.com, post on the forums. There are a lot of helpful people who will help you work through your issue, because most of the issues now that are getting reported are just issues with things like not understanding the settings because they're poorly documented by me, or mod conflicts, things like that. We've had very few legitimate actual turn out to be bugs come through lately, but those that do end up on my desk through the people who manage the simsettlements.com forums. So post there if you want to see something fixed. All right, so we're going to talk about one fix today, and that's for Workshop Framework. So there are fixes available today, or patches available for today for Sim Settlements, Workshop Framework, Workshop Plus, and Conqueror. And Workshop Framework had one that I found a little bit amusing. So when we first launched Workshop Framework, there was a bug in it that would cause the quest, the first step from Preston, to get stuck. And we put out a bat fix for it. Well, turns out we accidentally broke it again with the latest patch, but the reason is totally different, and so it requires a different bat file to fix. So it turns out that one of the fixes we did in the last Workshop Framework patch to make it so that your population was always correct on your Pip-Boy. That was a bug that was fixed thanks to the investigative efforts of IDEC Logistics Stations. I'm sure you guys love his mod. And he discovered an issue, and we put that fix into place. Well, it turned out Bethesda was relying on that bug to make the Minutemen quest work. So by fixing their bug, we broke something they were leaning on it for. So found another workaround so that we can have our cake and eat it too. So now the Pip-Boy bug is fixed, and also Preston won't get stuck anymore. Now, unfortunately, like I said earlier, you still need a batch file to fix it, and it required a different batch file. The existing saves do not get fixed by this. It's not a retroactive fix in Workshop Framework. So bat file it is, but obviously on Xbox that doesn't work. So if any of you guys need that fix on Xbox, please post in the comments below, and I'll look into a method of getting that to you that doesn't involve a bat file. I was trying to avoid releasing another mod publicly to fix it, mostly because it would be very confusing, because there are other reasons for Preston to break that have nothing to do with Workshop Framework. And even if they did have to do with Workshop Framework, it would only fix this one specific issue. It would only happen for players who started a new game from the mirror. So if you started a quick save, this wouldn't happen from the mirror since the latest patch of Workshop Framework. So there's only like a 5-week window where this could have even been possible to happen. So I was trying to avoid releasing a mod because I think it would be really confusing and it wouldn't work for most people. So anyway, if you are interested in that fix on Xbox, if you have a recent save that needs it, please post below. You'll know you need it because Preston will just keep telling you every time you talk to him that he's glad you joined or whatever, and then he'll just get stuck and he won't say anything more, and he'll just repeat that loop every time you come back to him. All right, other than that, let's talk city plan contest. So in this, for the same reason that patches are delayed, city plan contest is getting delayed. We're going to put a pin in it for now. We're not going to do season 3 right away. We'll likely delay that until after the expansion so that you guys have a lot of new toys to play with and whatnot. And also the Masters contest. The Masters contest is still going. They got a couple of weeks left. And for those of you guys not familiar with the Masters series and how it ran last year, we need a lot of extra processing time after the contest itself ends to get these processed and ready for you guys. Not only is it more work for the designers, they had to design a bunch of levels with interconnected stories. It's a much more complicated build for them, which means we need to spend more time judging it. But also, as part of it, when we do our internal judging, after that fact, we go through and produce some really nice videos to show off each of those settlements so that you guys can get a detailed look with some nice voiceover and something really, really fun to watch, as opposed to just our normal little quick cinematic spin. We want to give you guys something really epic to watch for this to celebrate the yearly Masters contest. So that takes us a little while, so there's going to be a delay. So you guys are basically going to get no real content from us for a little bit here, but then you're going to get something really cool. So keep an eye out for announcements and trailers and all that fun stuff. But I just wanted to keep you guys in the loop on the fact that there was going to be delays in a lot of things, and that's going to continue for a little bit here. All right, so now, last but certainly not least, it is technically patch day still, even if not a full-blown patch, so it's t-shirt time. So for these of you guys not familiar, basically I'm going to give you guys a hashtag, and I need you to leave a comment with that hashtag, and hopefully something else. If you just put the hashtag, I'm going to ignore your comment toward the entry. I want to read something else. Give me give me an anecdote about some settlements. Give me a bug report. Give me something to read along with the hashtag. And that hashtag is iHeartExpansions. Put that down, hashtag iHeartExpansions, and I will randomly draw somebody this weekend to receive a Sim Settlements t-shirt. All right, guys. All that said, take care and enjoy the mods.